Hey everybody, today we are going to make some of the best blue cheese dressing that you've ever had, and if you're a blue cheese lover like I am, you'll really enjoy this. I eat blue cheese I dip my bread in it, I eat it on salad along with French dressing on my salad. I put it on potatoes, crackers, I dip fruit in it. About anything you can think besides cake, I put blue cheese dressing on. So I'm going to make up a batch, and I thought I would share it with you. Actually, I'm going to make a double batch. So I will bring you down and you can watch how it's done. So you need 1.5 cups of mayonnaise. But since I'm making a double batch, I'll be putting 3. But just remember, it's 1.5. And I've shown you these before, but I was gifted these from one of y'all, and I really love it. So I'm going to do it this way, it'll be easier. So these are half cups, so we'll need 6 of these. And I'll try not to take too long to do it because it can get boring. Okay, that's 2, so there's 1 cup. And now I'm gonna go over to the new jar, and it would be ideal to use Duke's because there's nothing as good as Duke's mayonnaise, I think, but sometimes I just go with whatever. This is Kraft. So there is 3. I'm halfway there. There's 4. Five. And now our last one. And after I make this, I could put it in that first mayonnaise jar I emptied, and that'd be a good place to keep it. So now we have our mayonnaise in there, and then we want to add 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, which I am going to add a whole teaspoon since I'm doubling it. But you want to put 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. And I am using Splenda because I try to stay away from sugar as much as possible. So here is the 1 teaspoon, but remember you're putting 1/2. So there is the sugar. Then it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of mustard. So I'll be putting a whole one, you put a 1/2 one. And sometimes I don't measure. And then 1/2 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. I'm going to put a whole one, you put 1/2 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Sometimes I like to measure the vinegar because if you get even a couple drops off, it can make the difference. Then you want 1/2 teaspoon of half of a teaspoon of salt and half of a teaspoon of pepper. So I'm going to put a full one. There's the salt. And here's the pepper. Remember, you're putting half a teaspoon of each one. And then you're going to put 1/4 of a cup of milk. And I've already laid my measuring spoon in the sink and I don't want to get it back out. So I'm just going to eyeball this. But 1/4 of a cup of milk, I'm going to put half of a cup. You put 1/4 of a cup. Then we're going to just give this a stir. I used to think blue cheese was just horrible until I gave it a try, and it is really good. When you add the blue cheese, this will thicken a little. So now that you have that mixed, I'm going to put, this calls for, 1 cup of crumbled blue cheese. I got this blue cheese at Aldi's, and it's 5 ounces. I'm not sure what a cup is in ounces, but this to me will be fine. And see, it's crumbled up, and I like to leave those crumbles, and every now and then you get one, and it's just wonderful when you get one of those, because they turn your eyeballs inside out, and I just love that taste. And these smell so good. So you just stir those up in there. It's just such a simple recipe to make, and very, very good. As you can tell, the chunks are just all throughout it. It's really chunky. And that's it. I want to show you up close. You can just see it's full of the chunks. So, if you like blue cheese dressing, I think you'll like this. I'm going to take, really it needs to sit for overnight to let all the flavors kind of blend together. You look crooked.